Well, folks, here we are. I've probably spent a good five plus hours messing around with this. This is an old Bachtold, like mid 1980s DR mower, devoid of any safety features, which is kind of nice and also kind of terrifying at times. But anyway, to get to it, I was able to manage to replace the engine with one of these Predator. This is the 6.5 horse 212 cc model. This is like 200 bucks. I was quoted, another engine replacement, which would have been probably a little bit better fit for about 800 or 900. It would have been a 10 horsepower engine, so you'd have gotten more power. But so far, I haven't needed it. Bring it out here into the sun a little bit. As you can see, I kind of tore up the belt a little bit. One of the hassles was getting the spacing just right on the pulleys, and then also getting the pulley sizing maybe just right. I did have to replace the belt because the current one was going to just be too short. You can see this little black line here, which was where the center point of the drive shaft used to be. And without getting into all the fine details, you'll figure this out yourself if you're ambitious enough to try it. I had to have somebody weld on some plates here. Couldn't use the old mounting holes. That's what the holes are on those plates. Basically had to create a new platform for it and then sort of just barely snug it in there. One of the things, somebody else has a video here where if you mount it too far forward where the old bolts were, I didn't even get to that point. When you pull this lever back, it hits up against the engine, and so you can't disengage the blade. So I knew I was going to have to mount it a little further back. I didn't know I'd have to because of where the axles for the wheels were. I didn't realize I'd have to mount it as far back as I did, so I basically took it right up snug underneath. If I show you where the bolts come up through, actually the bolts go down through and then are nutted off underneath, and it was a really tight fit. Okay, yeah, you can see that there. But yeah, it worked. We got it there. Now on the back ones, I actually had to push them up through in order to work around the engine itself. At least one of them here, you can see it's a nut. The other one's the top of a bolt. And anyway, I don't know. Like, if you're going to do this, you'll figure that out. The bottom line is, yeah, you can make one of these engines work. I'm going to take another video showing what I mowed, and only going to post this if it actually does hold up. But the reason the belt got all frayed was getting this just right. When you push it forward to engage it, you got to have some things just barely clear. And at first when I tried it, it was too tight here, and it just kind of tore it up because it was pressing against it too much. Now it's just clearing it. It hasn't really degraded much more. I may have to buy another belt for 15 bucks or whatever. The other thing I did was added in this. It's kind of a belt keeper. So when I pull the tension off, it keeps it a little bit more tension, but not so much that it's engaging too much. What I found was if I didn't have something to hold it here, I don't know if there's just something about maybe the engine's riding a little lower now, the pulleys are a little different, I don't know. But what was happening was it just kept slipping off as soon as I'd disengage. It would run, I'd pull it back, it would immediately disengage. The pulley would slide right off the pulley. So with this little keeper here, that seems to have helped. Nothing special, just drill a hole, use the bolt head lying around. You could do it with most anything. I'm sure some people could do it more elaborately, but this worked. The drive works. Engine seems to have enough power. I just mowed it for about 2 or 3 minutes. It was working really good, but just felt like I might as well get this video first, and then I'll add more to it, assuming it all works out.